So you've set the bar and elevated the canopy camper game to new heights with fantastic features and distinguishable durability. Now we have questions for you and for your team.
Yeah.
What is Romify to you?
Romify to me is really about getting people outside to push the limits with what they're comfortable with. A lot of people, new generations of people, are stuck up on their phones. They're at home. They're not seeing what the world has to offer. And really my mission with the company, as you know, overlanding accessories, all stuff's very expensive. I don't want to be the cheapest guy on the market. I want to be seen as, the guy that's offering the most affordable options. I'm not doing that because, again, I don't want to be the cheapest, but I really want to take people outside to explore, see what the world has to offer. It's there, why not go?
Yeah, the world is your oyster. You might as well enjoy it,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
How did you come up with Romify?
Okay, so coming up with Romify really was, pre-Romify, I did lots of photography and stuff. I really enjoyed the outdoors, and I ended up, landing my first sponsorship, for example. I worked with, X company, and they gave me a product, and I went and took photos with it. Eventually, I worked my way into the overlanding market. I got a rooftop tent, a rack, whatever. So I started going out off-roading. I had a truck, and I really, I'm tall. I'm 6'5". I went into the tents. I never fit. I had to sleep on an angle. It was uncomfortable for me. So eventually I was just like, why don't I just do my own thing? Easier said than done. I'm not a designer.
Yeah.
So, I took it to the table, and, some other people I knew were like pretty collaborative in trying to find a way to do it. And we came up with the design, the sizes, all that kind of stuff. And I said, the cost for AutoCAD, it was just too much money. To have somebody design it on your behalf.
Yeah.
I'll learn it myself. So I went to YouTube, paid the subscription for AutoCAD, which was about $400 a year. And I was 18 at the time, so it was a lot of money. I was in school. And I was like, I'll just do it myself. So we did it. I sent the dimensions, all that kind of stuff, to a factory that I, found overseas to do it. And again, I was just doing it for me.
Yeah. Had
nothing to do with anybody else. And we got the designs back. I approved them. Again, I don't know anything about design. So I was like, yeah, looks great. It's a 3D picture. Let's go. Waited 3.5 months, 4 months. I got my camper, super excited to put it on my truck. Didn't fit. Didn't fit.
Course.
And, as much as I wanted to curse at the people that I, paid to do all the work, it wasn't really their fault. I approved the designs. I approved everything. I just didn't know what I was doing. And at that time, it was something that I said, I'm going to build my own camper. And it didn't work out. And then at that point in my life, I was kind of debating, do I just go buy something that somebody else has, or do I just keep going down this path? And I just kind of felt challenged to kind of make something for myself. So we did it again. Yeah. And we could go through all the details of that, but long story short, it just didn't work out. So now we're off the third time, and at this time I'm debating my mind. I was like, I could probably buy, with the money I spent doing this, something that somebody already has. But I tested those and I used those, and again, it just wasn't for me. And I also felt challenged at a young age to just do my own thing.
Step out of the box.
Yeah. So we did it one more time, and this time I paid somebody who knew AutoCAD and knew what to do and so forth. And we went into it and we got it, and I got the camper and it fit. And it wasn't really Romify at the time. It was something that I came up with that I thought sounded cool. And I was like, we'll just throw the branding on there and we'll just go out and do things. So I'm involved in, the 4-wheel drive community and just going out with friends, family, whatnot. It's just what I grew up doing. So, I put it on the truck and people were starting to ask when I went out. It did fit. By the way, the third time it did fit, just for clarity. It wasn't perfect, but it fit. And it, I felt success by accomplishing, something that I hadn't done before.
Yeah.
And we went out, and then people started asking, hey, what's that? Where'd you get that? And those types of questions. And that's what started and, brought Romify to kind of where it is today with some extra stuff.
That's great. I'm glad Romify has been let's say smashing success.
Thank you. Now, looking back on it, the number one thing is that we've now created something that's a little bit different than what other people are doing. And it's bringing that same value that I saw into the market now.
Well, that value is quite astounding. It's one of those things that you just don't normally see in the market. Something that's priced fairly, that's delivering the features it promises, and it's quality made. That's what Romify means to me. How does your version 1 compare to the version 2? 1 as in your original design, and 2 as in your current design.
So just kind of jumping into it, the version 1 was, the classic wedge that kind of, what Go Fast is doing, what Super Pacific is doing. And, there's a lot of players in that market. Yes. And, it was a good place for us to start because we learned really quickly what does work, what doesn't work. And those were good lessons to us, but we didn't want to come into the market and just be a copycat of what other people are doing. I'm not into that at this phase, right? So coming out with the version 2 was trying to find something that, compresses to the same amount, roughly within an inch, let's say, to your average camper, but offers a lot more room. So when we came out with the drawings for the version 2, it was really about bringing something that had more value for the same price, because we didn't change a lot. We just added a second hatch.
With that
engineering that to work with, the BC conditions and the rain and stuff, that was an afterthought. We went through the same version 1, version 2 of the dual wedge.
Yep.
And then, prototyping all the stuff, trying to divert the rain so it didn't flood the interior. But, we eventually made it through that, and we're able to offer that for, relatively the same price as what our competitors are doing with their regular. So having those two models kind of gives you the traditional outlook on overlanding, and then, you go into a double hatch, you end up with 40 to 45% more room.
Yes. And
for the same value.
Arguably, that extra room creates a space that is so serene when you're in the wilderness. As we've positioned our trucks now back there, you can literally wake up and look out your window and see the stunning vista that you drove into.
Yeah. You sleep either ways. You can orientate yourself either ways. And, you get to look up at the view of the lake that way or the view of the mountains this way. It's a win-win scenario. I didn't come to the table and say, the market needs this. It's something I did for me, and it kind of evolved into something more, and here we are now. Again, we wouldn't be here with our team and, other people that back my ideas, as astray they might be sometimes. We're always there to kind of bring Romify to the next level. We create the idea, we go out camping, we test it. It might have been a dumb idea, it might have not been, right? It just gives us perspective. And we do that with other people as well, with sponsors, whatnot, clients even.
Yep.
And the future of Romify is taking the problems that we have in our day-to-day overlanding and, providing solutions to them. But we have several ideas and solutions in the works for different types of power options, different packages, whether it be lighting, cooking, insulation, and even different campers coming into the market.
That will be a game changer.
Yeah.
Being able to provide accessories that are unique to each individual solution that is what you need, and that is what's going to differentiate Romify from every other competitor on the market that decides they're just going to give you a Tupperware box and slap it on your truck and send you on your way.
Well, we're here for the long run. A lot of people, and I say this in here, a lot of people think of us as, the company that's just importing a camper from overseas, but it's not really the case. Our clients know this already, and people that are asking us questions will know. But the factory that we're working with to make these campers, it's our factory with our personnel on the floor, our quality control, and then when they're coming to Canada, they're getting our quality control again from our team and our shop, right? Taking the things apart, putting them back together, making sure everything functions, making sure it's Canada ready, whether it be rain, snow, extreme colds that we might have in the prairies.
Of course.
And just making it a package overall.
That is the way it should be. That's the way other people should be developing these units, but instead you've chosen to go a greater path with a greater purpose. That is definitely a good goal for Romify.
Yeah.
When you created Romify, did you intend on it being one of the strongest competitors in the market?
No, not at all. Again, when I started Romify, I did it for me. It had nothing to do with anybody else. It was something I said out loud. I challenged myself to. I failed 3 times. I made something that worked, and then I was just stoked it worked, man. I had no intention of creating a market out of it, creating a demand out of it, or anything. Now that we have, I'm really proud of it, and I'm really happy that we can provide solutions and opportunities for other people to go out here, and that's kind of our mission statement, is to explore beyond, see what the world has to offer, and go do it. Don't be stuck up in your desk job, and don't be,
don't be boring.
Don't be boring, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm really proud of it, and really, stoked to see what that has in, future years or future generations to come.
Well, hopefully Romify is here for the long run, because I think it's a swing and it's going for the home run.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I know we touched base on the accessories a little bit, but is there any accessories you think you could divulge that might be coming?
Okay, yeah. So you're familiar with Red Arc, right? Like
Correct.
Red Arc. Yeah. So we have our own Romify kind of Red Arc based system coming out, using Romify, intelligence, Romify batteries, Romify apps.
Okay.
All coming in. You can control everything off your phone. I know you don't want to be on your phone when you're camping, but bear with me. It's going to control everything in your camper. It'll control your heat, electricity, your lighting. It's an easy place for people because most people have their phones on them.
Yes.
Right? We will also have the option to add all the switches and all that kind of stuff, kind of wherever you want. This will be tied into solar packs and stuff that we are offering. So we have everything developed, and we're in the kind of final stages of prototyping, and we hope to bring those on the market Q3 of this year. As well, we know a lot of people are kind of in the market. When you start reaching the close to $10,000 mark in Canadian, it would be nice if you could buy something. It would be nice if you could buy something that was said and done. You didn't have to do anything to add the solar after. So we are coming out with another camper that's based off the dual wedge, that has everything that the dual wedge has and more. So it's going to have the lighting, the power, the regeneration like solar, all in it, under the $10,000 price mark.
Damn, that's a
so
game changer.
I don't know really what we're going to call that yet. We haven't made it to the naming and the advertising side, but it is something that we've developed, we've tested, and are testing, and just figuring out the final kinks so we can bring it on the market and sell it as a all-inclusive, kind of affordable option for people.
That is definitely all-inclusive, and it is affordable. If it comes under that $10,000 mark, that's a market winner.
Well, the goal is to get more people outside, not to share all of our secret spots that we have, like this beautiful lake that we're at, but To get people outside and push their limits and find new places and just be happy, or at least just disconnect from the stress that they're living in their, scientific computer worlds.
Yeah.
So if we can bring that into the market at a price that's more affordable to more people, we're into it.
That is a good message. It really is. So what is your biggest highlights of Romify so far?
Okay, so this last year has been a surprise to me completely. I never expected, actually, I'll be honest with you, my goal coming into the year was to sell 10 units. Okay? It was kind of a combination of, I didn't want to disappoint myself with goals that I couldn't reach. And I thought it was feasible for where I was at. I was just a guy, I wasn't trying to make a business, I was just trying to make something for myself. So I wasn't, again, not trying to bring it to market to sell to thousands of people. So it was all a surprise to me. So in the first year of Romify, we're in the triple digits for new sales. And the people that I've connected with through that time has been the biggest highlight. They're people that are challenging me to reach new heights that I didn't expect. And they're new friends, new people to go camping with, new people to share memories with. And that's my message as a company. So I'm all for that. So I've developed myself so much as a person. We've been able to develop our team so much because of these new opportunities, and that's, the greatest thing that we could ask for from this.
You're putting a lot of opportunities out for a lot of people, and to be able to provide something that comes under the market quota price-wise, but over-delivers for features, durability, and accessibility.
Yeah.
It really does make roaming and exploring affordable for everyone.
Yeah. It's the end goal, like I said, right? We want to get more people outside. And it's not to share spots with everybody, because I know everybody has a big opposition about sharing spots.
Yeah.
It's just to get people outside. People need to go and do things. I know lots of people in my life that just don't do anything. It's too expensive for them. It's, their own motivation is something I can't control.
Yep.
But they just need to go do things. And if I can contribute 10% to them going outside and doing things, I'm happy.
That's really what.
Whether I sell them a camper or not has nothing to do with that. It's just the message about them going outside to see this. Like, why wouldn't you want to see this?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't you want to be here?
Why wouldn't you want to be?
I know.
There's so many places, Canada, the US, Europe, Asia, so many places that aren't developed cities that have some beauty in them that you'll just never find anywhere else but there.
Yeah.
And Romify opens up that world to you.
Absolutely.
So I'd like to say thank you, Aiden.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
So today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're preparing our spice blend prior to our camping trip, and we are going to blow them away with our tuna recipe. We're going to start with 2 teaspoons of garam masala, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1.5 teaspoons of coriander, 1 teaspoon of cumin, and 1 teaspoon of fenugreek. We'll follow that up with a dash of cinnamon. We're using Ceylon cinnamon, and 5 cloves to finish it up. And this is how you make the base of our spice blend for the butter chicken of the sea.
By recipes, special guest here, Mud Sheriff.
I'm making tonight a little something special for you. We're going to be making a saffron coconut rice, and we're going to be pairing it with a buttered tuna. Tuna is referred to as the chicken of the sea, so tonight we're switching chicken with ahi tuna. Got an onion, and we got some local garlic. If you guys like this recipe, I also have another ahi tuna recipe that I served to my friends when we were on our Texada trip, which also is inspired by another culture. I like Indian food, I like Japanese food, I like all food. I'm a foodie. I like to cook everything even if I'm not good at it. Once you try it, you gotta have it. So, experiment. Open your views a little bit. Join the world of the culinary kings. Find flavors that mystify you and inspire you to create something new, something different, something that everybody is going to be in awe at your next family gathering. Sometimes at your next campsite. And that's what we're doing here. Saffron rice cooking away. Nothing like luxury spice in the woods. Got the saffron rice. And we'll be topping that with our homemade butter chicken of the sea.